To the 2024 race for the GOP presidential nomination, rising Republican star and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is building his national profile and reportedly his war chest. This, as a recent University of New Hampshire poll shows him pulling ahead of former President Donald Trump in a potential head-to-head matchup. Republican pollster Lee Carter is here to discuss. You know, Lee, Piers Morgan, I want you to know about Piers Morgan actually weighed in. I'm going to get to that in a moment. Just your thoughts on this poll itself.
So my thoughts on this are it is so far away from the election. If you think back to what happened in 2015 and 2016, in June of 2015, there was a Washington Post article that said, here's the 5 reasons why Jeb Bush is going to be the next president of the United States. Jeb Bush got nowhere. I think what we're seeing, though, right now is that there's a trend that Americans are concerned about the age of the president, and they're ready for the next generation to come in, and they're excited by some of the younger candidates who are bringing new ideas and more contemporary ideas. More than half of Americans are concerned about the age of the president. Many are saying that there should be age restrictions on how old you can be to run for office. And so I think we're going to start to see a huge sort of swath of young candidates coming to the front and people getting really excited about them. Because what I do know is that people are sick of what's not been working for them up to this point. Now, the other side of this.
I'm sorry, Lee. I was just going to say that what I'm seeing, though, is for the most part, Trump, of course, has that core, strong, solid base. And DeSantis is building up this remarkable base because of his performance in part during the pandemic, the way he has pushed back and stood up for parents, pushed back against woke corporations. I mean, he is actually living in real life. He has a chance as an active governor to do these things, and it certainly is not hurting him. What about this war chest?
Well, I think it's pretty amazing that he's been able to raise as much money as he has. But he has a real knack for grabbing the attention of the nation. We don't know what many governors are up to, right? It's just not nationwide. All the focus is on one state in the same way, unless there's a scandal or something really controversial. What he's doing is shifting the conversation and changing the debate from everything from COVID to the economy to tax codes, and then even to, you know, his very, very controversial Don't Say Gay bill. He knows how to engage the conversation, set the stage, and make sure he's part of every conversation that we're having about all of the most important issues. He's very, very astute. He's very, very savvy. But again, long time until 2024. Right. And so I'm not so sure that the momentum will hold. I think we're going to see some other people start to capture the hearts and minds of Americans. But he certainly is fascinating to watch. And he definitely is grabbing a lot of money at this point because he is sort of, I think that the hope of people are saying, you know what, I like Trump's policies, but I'm ready for someone who's got a little bit, you know, something new.
Let me ask you quickly about inflation. Of course, we had the Roe decision on Friday, but so far, inflation has been far and away the #1 topic, the #1 issue. Is it still that case right now?
In this moment, it still is, but we've seen a lot of shifts in the polls in the last weeks. So if you think about gun control, for example, 28% put that as a top issue. Now 40% say that's a top issue. So we've got a lot of conversations about gun control. The abortion debate, we're just starting to see the tip of the iceberg as far as what people are going to view. And so what I really want to do is unpack what does this mean for the suburban women voters who really made the decision that Biden was going to be the president because and people really swung that direction. Now, a lot of the conversations that you're starting to see about women and Roe versus Wade isn't just about abortion itself. It's also about IVF. There's a lot of people saying it's going to be harder and harder to get IVF or fertility treatments because of the restrictions around that. Lots of conversation, lots of fear. And when fear gets involved, that can become really an energizing factor for people to vote on a certain issue. So I think this is going to be interesting to watch in the coming weeks. But up to this point, inflation, our pocketbooks is still the #1 concern.
Absolutely. Lee, thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.